Then this guy has like an empty ass pickle jar full of maggots, and he pours it into like those medicine cup shot glasses and tapes it to her clit. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on? We are finally finished with PornGore. Finally, volume 2. Here we go. The whole thing done. Now, before I actually get into that, I know a lot of people are like, Cold Raven, I saw the new camera and I missed the old camera because it gives me those 2000s vibes. Well, you know, that would have helped a lot if someone told me ahead of time that, you know, people would miss the older camera before I spend over $600 fucking for the camera and the microphone. But, you know, can't take that back. Making sure my fucking mic is recording before I end up looking like an asshole. Anyway, new camera, new mic, new setup. We looking great. Hopefully I do look great. I'm not sure. I can't really see till I'm after like fucking finished editing all the bullshit. But nonetheless, we are done with PornGore Volume 1 and Volume 2. Check it out right here. Off the list with Fetus Munches. We're moving on to other shit. Probably Registros Fatais or whatever the fuck else. And yes, I did find Snuff R73. Brace yourselves for that one because I'm going to be reviewing that like right after everything else is done, like MD Pope 3 and Food Bar. Then we're going to have Snuff R73 for like the absolute final like fucking banger. So with all that shit being said, I gotta say when it comes to this mixtape, is it worse than the first one? Yes and no. One thing I do want to say is kind of like, you know them fucking, those failed compilations where people are busting their asses. They take that out and they replace it with like street fights. And this one has some of the most vile fucking gore I've ever seen in my life. Like every time I sit down and, you know, I'm like, okay, I've seen it all. There ain't nothing else I'm gonna see. I haven't seen it all. And I see new shit. I mean, the only thing I haven't seen quite yet is someone actually ripping out someone's fucking spine while they're still alive, which is not something I kind of want to see. I mean, it's something where if I do see it, not really in my control. Just hopefully it's not like in fucking person. But with that shit being said, no more bullshitting. Like and subscribe. That helps me out a shit ton. Check out my Patreon. I'm going to have some exclusive content up there. Already do, but I'm going to get a new video probably out tomorrow. And now we're going to get into the history of this shit right here. Now, it was released in 2020 to 2021. At least that's what the files said. What do you mean by the files? Because, I don't actually own the movie at all. There's files and shit. And the files said that it was made in like, it was last edited in 2021. So I'm going to kind of give a rough estimate. It said January 1st of 2021. So I can't really say. That's why I say it's around that era. So the past this year or last year, especially since, you know, Wendigoon's Iceberg came out, like only a couple months ago. So obviously that was on there. So we gotta fucking assume that this was before that. Again, time travel argument that I made for Fetus Munches and for the first PornGore. On top of that, there's like, the person who made this is unknown. I don't fucking know. You don't know. No one knows. But I have a theory. Remember that chick that I was like, yo, she is not even fucking sexy. She's just gorgeous. Beautiful legs. All those compliments and shit. And she sat down and ate a plate of her shit with the mint leaf on top. Now, I believe she makes another appearance in this second one. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a theory or conspiracy right here. When it comes to guys, we're more outwardly aggressive. When it comes to egos, we're more outward with our egos. With females, they're more passive aggressive. They're more ego behind the doors. You know what I'm saying? So this is my theory. Again, this is a theory. That the female who eats her own shit and the one that makes a fucking appearance in this one with another 30 to 40 minute clip with period blood and all that fucking disgustingness. I believe that she may have been the one to make this because she leaves her shit like right towards the end and she makes sure that she's the one with like all the spotlight on her without telling you that it's hers. That's a theory, a conspiracy. You don't have to believe it or buy into it. You don't have to sit here and think that Bush knocked down the towers. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a conspiracy. Again, no solid proof. Now, this one runs for about 2 hours. Oh, well, over 3 hours. But it's 201 minutes and 48 fucking seconds. So it's a little bit shorter than the last one, no doubt. Because the other one was about 3 hours and a half. And I did have to watch this again like 4 fucking times. God help me, you know. It could only, you know, sit there for so long and not want to rip out your fucking eyes, which we do get some of that inside this movie, which is, I guess, great or bad. I don't fucking know, whichever one you want to chop it up as. So over 3 hours of bullshit. And then on top of that, 200 plus clips. So it's less clips than the first one, but these clips are a lot longer, a lot more fucking gruesome. But again, a lot of those clips in the first one were people busting their asses. Oh, look at this fat guy trying to do a cartwheel and he hits his ass. Dude, you shouldn't have tried that cartwheel. And this one, it's people ripping out your eyes while you're still fucking alive. So we get some of those clips. Now, with all that being said, let's pull out that motherfucking whiteboard. As you heard, 200 plus clips. Now, when it comes down to these clips, I'm going to break them down as I always do. About 160 of them plus are gore. Now, again, gore is different from violence. Violence is, punch you in your face. This dude breaks his arm. He busts his ass, because someone shoved him off of something, or you got hit with a steel chair on some WWE shit. Now, gore is fucking dismemberment, decapitation, shootings, fucking people getting gutted like animals. That, to me, is gore. Got about 160 to 170 clips of gore. This shit is just insane, and it's not these clips last seconds. These clips last minutes. To some of these even like 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. And there are some clips in here that blew my mind. I never thought I'd ever see it. You know what I'm saying? It's some shit that not even in your wildest dreams you could come up with something quite like it, which we're obviously going to go over later. Now, I got about 15 to 20 fights inside this whole entire compilation. They removed all that funny haha, look, he busted his ass. Oh, he fell on his ass. Oh, look at him. He tried to do the skateboard and fucking, skateboard broke. That shit, they got rid of it. A lot of fights. People getting knocked the fuck out. People getting slumped. People starting issues and getting put the fuck down like a dog. So you got about 20 fights inside here. Now, 5 of these clips are actually porn gore. What I mean by porn gore is kind of like, to me, if there's blood and there's porn, or if there's some like extreme BDSM, like again, there's a clip in here where they're like putting these, like they're threading this chick's pussy up and they're fucking shoving needles. So like that to me is just porn gore. Got about 5 clips of those, and you have 3 scat clips. Yeah, 3 scat clips. You know what scat is. People keep on asking me. Actually, as a matter of fact, I get a lot of questions. Cold Raven, what's scat? What's scat? And people don't like. Come on. I thought that anybody watching these type of videos would know what scat is. It's fucking shit. Okay, people. If you don't know what scat is at this point, it is shit. It's dookie, cocky, poopy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's doo-doo. Number 2, it's shit. Then you got 2 vomit clips, which is people puking. Cold Raven, what's vomit? If anybody asks me that, I'm gonna fucking pile drive you like Undertaker. Then you got 1 just like solid porn clip, and then after that you got this like helicopter crashing. So one chopper crash, or should I call it like 1 cool clip? I'll probably call it a cool clip. This motherfucking chopper just smashed into the ground, and you know what sucks is because like it smashed into like a place that doesn't even like it doesn't look too wealthy anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how the fuck did you get a helicopter out there? And it smashed into like fucking some shit town, and it's like, damn. The one nice thing you did have, you just got fucked up by it. But with all that being said, we're gonna go over these clips. So a lot of people were like fucking happy as shit. I can't wait to see Cold Raven vomit and gag in 4K. Well, here we go, because I did almost vomit while, talking about this shit. I did delete the post yesterday of me announcing that I got all this shit. I took a picture of it when it came inside the mail, because I saw in the corner, I saw an ashtray, and I had like 10 smoked up J's. I've been burning like a motherfucker, especially as of recent, even though I haven't smoked in like months, man. I've been burning real bad, but, with all that shit being said, we're going to take it from the top right here. We're going to get right into the first clip. The entire script is right in front of me. Got everything good. So let's go ahead and take this one out. Alright, so the first clip is a self-made mammogram. If you don't know what a mammogram is, it's like when chicks put their like tits on this cold-ass piece of metal and it squishes them. I can only imagine how uncomfortable that is, and I feel fucking terrible. You know what I'm saying? That shit is probably uncomfortable as a motherfucker. I can't imagine grabbing a piece of you, putting it on some cold shit, and having it squished down and compressed to the point where it's as thin as fucking paper, then having that shit come back up. You know what I'm saying? But now imagine taking away like that bail machine. You don't know what a bail machine is? It's like I used to work in warehouses. You throw boxes in them shits get squished down. It's like a bail machine. Now imagine getting rid of that. That's made by like, these, I guess, top tier technicians and these titty scientists or whatever. And now replace it with some fucking guy who made one at home. Where step number 1 isn't just putting your tits on the table or the slab of metal. It's getting your nipples nailed the fuck down by a baby hammer that's used to like pound pork. Yeah, he nails her tits down. And mind you, this shit has to hurt because it's a female. And you hear the noises she's making. She's like, owie. She's like, ugh, ugh, while he's fucking nailing her tits down like she's a fucking vampire getting a stake through the heart. And then he grabs this other slab and starts pushing them down like he's like screwing it in the fucking corners, and it's compressing her tits, and he's like moving it, trying to move it. That shit ain't getting no gift. That shit was not moving. I promise you, the Hulk, Brock Lesnar, I don't give a fuck who you get, that shit was not gonna move. I promise you, I swear to you. And then on top of that, that may have been disturbing. This goes on for 3.5 minutes. I feel like the most disturbing part is when they take the focus off her tits, they look up and you see her face. She had no fucking eyebrows, man. That shit was just the most disturbing part of the clip. She like Super Saiyan 3 Goku. that shit was, ugh, like, next. Okay, so we got this chick who's laying down, this chunky Spanish chick. Well, she's not too chunky. And they're putting these needles through her pussy. It's going through both of the sides of her pussy, like one and then out the other. And they're like needling it through. And then they start threading through her pussy with like a fucking metal wire. And again, that may be all disturbing and shit. But the part that got me was she had this, like, the same exact tattoo Batista has. Like, on his stomach, she had like a fucking identical tattoo to that shit. Just a little bit bigger. And that to me was the most disturbing part. Then you go on to this next one where like this dude has his cock in like this fucking thing when it's like, I don't know. It's a penile contraption. This shit that people make at home blows my fucking mind. I mean, the most complicated thing I've ever made at my house was like a paper airplane or like a bowl of cereal. People make these cocktraptions, I guess if you want to call it that, stick their penis in it and then put let crickets jump on them and gnaw on their dicks, and like the whole entire bottom has like, you know those rocks that you put in like a fish bowl, but imagine if they're red. So at least this guy has some concept of what it is to be cool because he had the red rocks instead of the blue rocks, but look what the fuck you're doing. And again, it's a fucking mushroom dick fucking nerd who's doing some shit like this, you know, as you'd have to assume, because nobody in the right mind who is packing anything, pause, is not gonna do some shit like this. It's like no one wants you, you're unlikable, so then you do shit like that. And it's just the saddest fucking thing ever. Like, you could just save money and go to a whorehouse. They may, like, you know, make fun of you a little bit, probably. I don't know. But, you know, it is what it is, man. At least you're not EDP going after little kids, I guess. So I suppose the fuck out that loser. And then you have this fucking albino cricket shit. It's the next one. Again, these are like 5 PornGore clips in a row. So he shoves his dick in like another like contraption. I'm assuming it's the same guy, but he has these massive fucking crickets that are like this big and they're albino. And they're biting into his dick. They're biting into his scrotum. And like he's putting words and text over this. So he's recorded it. He's edited the shit. Edited the audio. And he's posted it online. This is his doing. And the crickets are biting into the skin. Biting into the scrotum. That was probably loud as fuck. That was my stomach. I am starving Marvin like a motherfucker. I'm starving like an African child right now, man. Anyway, so they're like biting into his nuts and shit, and there's blood, and he's like, yes. Like, he's putting up text like, there we go. They're having another meal. And he has like these red warts all over his nuts and shit. What the fuck? Like, dog. That, I don't know, man. They're just like biting into his shit and just sucking the blood out, and I guess that stimulates them. God. Next tip, we're going to Japan. We know how this shit rolls. We know how this rolls. We know how this works. We're going to Japan. Scat and vomit. We're getting hit with a double whammy. So this chick is sucking a dick that's covered in shit, and she pukes, and it's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting, and it's also disgusting if I haven't fucking said already. And she just keeps on going at it, and she keeps going at it, and she keeps... Ugh. And it's not like the shit is only on his dick. It's like it's on her face, and it's going down to his stomach, and she's like... Ugh, she's drooling. Next clip. Fuck, man. This is the one that almost made me vomit. This is the first clip. There was 2 clips that almost made me vomit. This was the first. Okay. Let me move my papers just in case I fucking puke. I'm moving my microphone. Alright. I'm going to describe this as the best to my ability. My eyes are already tearing up. Alright. So it's 2 Japanese chicks. We're staying in Japan. And they're making out. Not to mention that they're puking on each other. Well, I would take that back. One is just puking profusely on the other one. And it looks like clam chowder. And she's just going and going. And it looked like someone ran over a fire hydrant. And it's just spewing, man. It's just stop. It just won't stop. And it just won't fucking stop. And she just keeps on going and going and going and going. And there's just so much white puke. And there's like black shit in her puke, right? After there's black shit all in her puke. And while she's puking up all this black shit, there's like black. Fuck. Hold on. I need a cup to spit in. Alright. It's like black shit. I don't know what the fuck it is, man. It's these chunks of black stuff, man. And she's fucking spitting it up. And one of the big ass chunks just gets caught in the other. Fuck. It's the fucking shit. Okay? A big ass black chunk is stuck in her fucking mouth. And she's still puking. And then she spits out that fucking black chunk of whatever the fuck that was. And then she grabs a dildo and starts going in her fucking mouth. And then she starts puking. And next one, man. You gotta fucking, they pierce her cheek through here and it comes out the other. And she's like, ah, and then they pull it out. We're still in Japan, by the way. They pull it out and then the guy grabs her head and he starts shaking it. Like, you know when your dog is like, sleep? Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, you like that Puerto Rican cup right there? This is like orange soda from a couple days ago. I don't know why the fuck there's a spoon in it. But just know, for some reason I had a spoon in here. Oh, yo, this is the fucking spoon from when I filmed Two Girls, One Cup. That shit's still in here. Fuck, this is the one I didn't use. This is one that I did use, and I threw that downstairs. This is the second one that I didn't use because, well, this is the first one because I put it in my mouth, and that shit was fucking salty. And I was like, why the fuck is this spoon salty? So I put it in this cup. Pause. But nonetheless, like I was saying, he starts shaking the head. Like, you know when your dog is sleeping, and its head moves like that, wherever you move it, kind of like that. After that, we're still in Japan. They're putting needles in this chick's back, right? And when they're doing this, she's just like, this dude's getting it up in her fucking face and everything, like trying to intimidate her. And he's like getting in her face. And he does like this weak ass fucking pressure point bullshit that only like fucking elementary school kids thinks. Like, if you really sit here and you're at this day and age and you think pressure points work, I'm here to inform you, they don't fucking work. As a guy who's taken kickboxing for years, wrestling, fucking, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and all Taekwondo, I've done it. I've done it all. There's no such thing as pressure points. There's none of that. Doesn't exist. That does not fucking exist. Save that shit for the Jet Li bullshit, flippity, kickity, Japan move. That shit doesn't exist. If you think it works, I hope you do not use it in a real fight. You would get really hurt. But anyway, yeah, he's like grabbing her by the back of the neck, like, you know, those kids used to do in elementary school to other kids, like, oh, I know this pressure boy took karate for a week. Like, it may work on a kid, because you're like a fucking grown-ass man, but this guy's like 100 pounds soaking wet. He'd weigh 100 pounds if you made him hold 90 pounds. And then he's like 5'6", treating this chick like this, and then they put hooks in her back. They're like Cabal swords from Mortal Kombat. And then they fucking hook it up to chains, and they have her levitating in the air like Chris Angel. I mean, they have her like a fucking foot suspended off the ground, and it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Next one, you got this fat, greasy trucker fuck. This fat motherfucking sloppy ass dude who literally has like a knife, and he's stabbing himself. Not like, he's like poking it, and then he's putting pressure into it, I guess to get pain, to stimulate himself. He does this to his nipple, he does this to his belly button. He does this to a whole bunch of parts of his body. God, yo, I just that fucking vomit shit's got me going right now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just have to keep on spitting because, like I said, man, when I'm about to vomit, my salivation or salivatory, I don't fucking know. My salivating glands go haywired. They fucking go nuts, man. Anyway, after the stabbing shit, yeah, this dude masturbating with a steak knife. I'm not sure if it's the same guy who went to the hospital and then in the hospital he does it again. Maybe. I don't fucking know. But just know that someone's doing it again. Maybe this might be a popular fucking trend and I'm out of the loop. Maybe we're out of the loop. I hope we're out of the loop, and I hope no one watching this has masturbated with a fucking steak knife. I hope. And if you have, don't inform me that you have. I don't want to know. Anyway, after the knife masturbation, which it's already covered in shit. Like, it's not like shit. I mean, like, it's covered in, like, liquids. I guess he lubes it up. Gotta make sure, you know, safety first. You don't want it to be too rugged. And then you got, like, a car wreck where some dude's head is just blown the fucking, like, Gore from Mortal Kombat just punched him in his shit. You got some dead chicks. One of them was, like, slumped over like this. It was one dead chick. I'm sorry I said dead chicks. She slumped over. It's like a suicide aftermath. Then you got, like, people finding rotten corpses in the woods. It reminds me of that movie. I forgot what it was, but Train. He's like, you want to see a dead body? That fucking movie. You know what I'm talking about. It's like some Stephen King 80s movie or some shit. And then I remember the ending. He's like, yeah, and then my friend used to work at like a McDonald's and he got stabbed to death. It's like, wow, that's a great fucking ending for him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else became like millionaires and he got stabbed. Was that long? I don't fucking know. I may be confusing a couple of movies. Don't matter. Then they find, dead bodies in the streets that have like blown up fucking heads. That is page 1 of 3. You got a whole bunch of corpses in the streets, like a compilation of people being dead in the street, a whole bunch of corpses. And it shows this clip where this dude is like bleeding profusely from his back and they're carrying him. I'm bringing up this clip for a reason. Then it shows up a helicopter crash. Like it's in like some really shitty place, where people got like live in these clay fucking places and they're using like, those, how do I say this? It's like rusty ass pieces of metal for roofing. It's one of those places. Hold on, check this out. Oh, hold on. That is the first and second burp on the new mic. Take that shit with you. Hopefully it didn't ear rape y'all. I apologize if it did. But it's one of those shitty places. The helicopter is like the only nice thing that they got. Crashes right down and kills it probably kills people. I mean, it's a helicopter crash. Someone was flying this shit. So if it crashed, people died. And it crashed like dead center in the city. After that, when I brought up that dude getting carried with the blue shirt bleeding, it shows the same exact clip. It shows it right after the helicopter crash. So there you go. That's why I brought it up for a reference. It shows more corpses in the streets with people like surrounding them and crowding around them. Dead body. Yeah, it's fucking a dead body. Now, can you stop staring at the shit and poking it with sticks? It's ridiculous. More corpses getting carried away. People discovering corpses like they're in the woods and they find like some rotten ass dead body from like 2006. Some old shit that was like been dead there for years, all like fucking eaten away. It's pretty fucking gross. And then we have this PornGore clip, or I think this is actually the only porn clip because there's no blood in this one. So it's like this guy, right? He has like this thing and he puts it in her pussy. I don't know what it is, man. It looks like a wrench, but if it was made out of plastic. Now take the front of the wrench away and make it like a tube. It's like a plastic handle with a plastic tube like this. He puts it in her puss hole and starts putting leeches in it. I don't fucking know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't. After that, you get like an ISIS compilation. Now this consists of like a whole bunch of sniper headshots. That's practically it. It's about 20 to 30 clips in a row of just people getting their fucking brains blown the fuck out by snipers. And it has pretty good effects, which, later inside this movie, they kind of show the cameras that they do have. And the camera's actually very similar to mine, which kind of makes me wonder, who the fuck is giving them these cameras? Who's giving them, like, these people live in, like, clay huts and shit. How the fuck do you have a $600, $700 camera, and then they edit the footage as well? Who is giving this shit to these people? I know the answer, but I don't want to say it. The U.S. Anyway, so you got this chick that's laying down, and her pussy is hairy. Now, don't get me wrong. I got nothing against a hairy pussy. I don't. Believe me, I fucked a chick on her period several times before. That is something I don't like to admit. I'm an animal sometimes. I'm a little bit fucked up. And it was raw. I don't think I should. I had no reason to admit that. Whatever. That's new information to you, old information to me. Anyway, to me, it's like if a pussy is fully shaved, I find it disgusting. I feel like there needs to be some grass in the field for me to play ball. But this shit is a jungle. This shit is like motherfucking slashes in there, man. This shit is a complete jungle. And the most disturbing part is not only is a pussy that fucking hairy, that I mean, it looks like a fro, but that shit goes down into her asshole. And her asshole is hairy as fuck. I mean, her asshole has more hair than my fucking face. Not that I have much hair on my face, but I'll tell you this much, it definitely does. And that, to me, just disturbed the fuck out of me. Then this guy has like an empty-ass pickle jar full of maggots, and he pours it into like those medicine cup shot glasses and tapes it to her clit. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? The fucking just... The creativity in these people, when you run out of pickles in a pickle jar, so you wash it out, collect the maggots. How the fuck you do that? Not that I really want to know. You just drink up all your NyQuil, and then you use it to put fucking maggots in it to tape it to a chick's clit. And then he starts fucking her. Like, I'm at a loss of words. I just don't know. I don't know. People are very resourceful. I guess they're helping the environment in a way. But like I said a couple videos ago, fuck the environment. I never forgot when I said that, and I'll never forget it. Still buying aerosol cans and spraying that shit into the ozone. You know what I'm saying? Do it every day. It's an investment to fuck this earth up. So when I'm dead, everybody feels those beams and shit and get cooked alive. Fuck that. Oh, but what about your offspring? That ain't my problem. That's their problem. Anyway, then it shows like a skinny black kid pushing this dude while he's trying to put boxes on the truck. And the dude is just minding his own business working. It's like in Chinatown, because I can see the signs, and I've been to Chinatown before. And I knew this kid was going to get his fucking ass whooped because he was like, oh, let's square up. Let's square up, right? And then he did this shit. I knew he was about to get his fucking ass whooped. I don't understand with these new age kids who put their hands up like this and then they duck their heads back. It's like, dog, you are about to get fucked up because first off, you're putting your chin up in the air. You covering one side of your fucking face. What the fuck is this? Like you're wheeling in a fish or some shit. Like, you just went fishing and you're trying to wheel that bitch in. You're ducking your head back. You're off balance. What are you doing? And then they wonder why, people take them down, grab them, and slam them on the floor. You're going to get slammed because you're giving up your legs. Which is exactly what happens. The dude came out, he's like this. He feints, goes low, double legs him, grabs both of his legs, slams him on his fucking head like hard as shit. Like he knocks him out with this slam. Then he's like, and gave him something to go home with. He gave him something to go home with, and he knocked his ass out. I mean, he knocked him out with the slam and gave him a 2-piece after that shit. And he went right back to work. Like, that motherfucker is a bad dude. He went right back to work like nothing even happened. He just laid that motherfucker back out. And he's like, look, man, I'm on the clock. I ain't trying to lose my job. He handled that work quick, man. He got fucking busy. That shit was crazy, man. I started laughing. Then after that, you had the short Asian guy, right? And this fucking homeless white dude was like up in his fucking face. And the Asian guy's like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. And they keep on arguing. He's like, don't touch me. And he kept saying that. And this is the Asian dude. He's short, but he got some beef on him. You know what I'm saying? He's a stocky fucking Asian dude. And my favorite part, it goes from don't touch me to I dare you to fucking touch me. I was like, oh no, now he went from you better not bring that smoke to I want that motherfucking smoke. That's why I started laughing. He's like, you better not touch me. I dare your ass to touch me. And then the white dude like bumps into him a little bit and he comes up and he gives this motherfucker a haymaker. I mean, this dude drops and he looks like a Great Dane on a wet floor. I mean, he's all like this trying to get up all fucked up, all spread out. And his face is swelling up fast. Like, I was like, damn. He put that motherfucker out, man. Straight up dropped his ass. Then after that shit, again, this is a fight compilation right here. Then you got this dude, it's like, I guess in a Jamaican type of restaurant, and he's like leaning over the counter talking shit. He's like, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, and he swings at the dude at the cash register. The dude in the cash register is working behind it. He leans back, and he comes back, ooh, and he fucking cleans this kid's jaw. I mean, he gives him a fucking haircut. He straight up knocks his ass out, and his nose is all busted and fucked up, and he's like this, sitting on his ass trying to grab something. I'm like, whoo! Like, you guys got your ass whooped, man. Which, again, I love street fights, as I've said before, man. I love street fights. Then you got this one, it's like in Russia. He tries to blindside somebody who came up out of a convenience store. The first one hits. The second one, he completely catches air. And before he can even look up, this other... He fucking hits him so hard. I kid you, this dude probably shit his pants. He probably shit and came. He probably pissed too. Milk probably came out of his tits. He got punched so fucking hard. I'm not even joking. He got like just knocked the fuck out. He was so knocked the fuck out. Before he even hit the floor, this dude was in Dream Street. Fucking sleeping. He was snoring and the dude was picking him up. And he's just like he just put him in comatose. Fucking knocked his ass out, man. Then you have this stupid ass clip. That's page 2. This stupid clip with some chicks like, oh my god, knock yourself out. Which to me, when there's a female involved with violence, I feel like violence gets much more worse. As you got dudes like, oh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You know, while they're on the outside instigating females like, oh my god, you guys are such pussies. And it's like typically when females do that, it's always some like busted ass nasty looking bitch with like a fucking stomach notes hits, and they typically has some nasty ass like upper lip hair and shit. So it's like it's not even a chick you'd be fighting over for, but then these guys are like pussy and they turn into cavemen, you know what I'm saying, because it's so fucking depraved. Which, you know, females instigating stupid shit like this, you know, you see it all the time. So she's like, oh my god, knock yourself out. So this dude like goes like this. He punches himself to make the sound effect, and then he like does this like stupid like some Mike Tyson punch out spin, falls on the floor, and then his friend comes over and starts humping his ass while he's pretending to be knocked out, which I guess that's what you get. You wanted to do some stupid shit, so you got some stupid shit done to you. He starts like teabagging his ass cheeks, and then like he jolts and he looks up like, and then he's pretending to be hurt again. It's so funny. It's, yeah, you want to do stupid shit, you got stupid shit done to you. Then after that, you got like it's like this car that's following him, and then he pulls over in front of him, and then they get out the car, and these motherfuckers just start swinging. Then this big dude drops the other dude. The dude in front of him gets dropped, and he starts fucking his ass up. Then I guess his wife maybe comes up and he slaps the dude that's winning. She slaps the guy that's winning. Now I'm gonna tell you like this: you never ever slap the guy that's winning in a fight, because to me that means he's about to win another motherfucking fight, especially if you're female. So she slaps him, and this dude goes like, and he stops himself from punching her. He does stop himself, which, again, people are like, equal rights, equal fights. People are like, oh my god, men shouldn't put their hands on women. How about we can all agree on this? Don't put your hands on people in general. I think we can all agree on that. Keep your motherfucking hands to yourself. Period. Don't matter if you're male, female, I don't give a fuck what you identify. Just keep camera cut off, but like I was saying, keep your fucking hands to yourself. Period. There's no but what. Just keep your hands to yourself. And if you hit somebody, it does not matter what you are, what you identify. If you hit somebody, expect to get hit back. It doesn't matter what's on your chest, what's in between your legs. It doesn't matter. You put your hands on somebody, expect for them to get rough with you. You want to play rough? People gonna play rough too. Anyway, with that shit being said, so he starts pushing the chick, starts pushing over, I guess, his mother, and he just keeps on wailing on this fucking dude, and that's practically it. And it's like a fight compilation, about 10 more to 15 more fights. Then you got Funky Town Gore, which is a clip. Cold Raven, you gotta talk about Funky Town Gore. Cold Raven, you gotta talk about Funky Town Gore. You gotta talk about it, you gotta talk about it, you gotta talk about it. People hitting me up on Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, my YouTube comments. Funky Town Gore. Shrek music. Wow, some guy's getting fucking massacred. Now I've seen it before, and I guess I'll get way more in depth for a video. Fucking hair is getting in my eyes, which is why I always wear this, just in case people were asking. It's a dude who's literally fucking faceless and handless, getting cut up. They're like cutting his neck and cutting his face to the point where he's biting the knife to stop the mutilation. Some fucked up shit. Now we got about 50 to 60 Gore, actually about 80 Gore clips in a row. Now this goes from cop shootings to an ISIS compilation to about 50 of them being like fucking just the most insane shit that I've never seen ever in my life. I've never seen most of this shit in my life. Again, you have mutilation, dismemberment. People, they cut off this dude's ear and then they cut out his tongue. So while his tongue is in his own mouth, as in he's biting down on it because it's already been cut out of his mouth, then they cut off his ears. Some dude hanging over a toilet where they slice his neck and they cut him into pieces. They start filleting another guy's chest, where filleting is like, you know, you fillet a fish. They're peeling off all of his pectorals. So now you see his very, very white rib cage. You see people getting their heads cut off, people getting shot, people getting their arms cut off and their legs cut off and their hands cut off. Mind you, when I said all that arms cut off, legs and hands, that happens to the same person. Mind you, they putting people in ditches while their limbs are missing. And then this clip that was so fucked up. I mean, out of this entire Gore compilation, there's about 5 to 6 clips that are worse than Funky Town Gore. Yeah, I'm dead fucking serious. You got this one dude who's like hanging upside down, and I can't even like put it into words, so hopefully you understand what I'm saying. His head is still connected to his spine, while his spine is no longer connected to his neck. So it looks like all of this is missing, and his spine is like where your nose should be, is where his spine is, and his head is dangling. So like you see his whole entire bloody spine pulled right out of his fucking neck socket, and it's just he's hanging upside down, swinging back and forth. Yeah. And then some dude's like hitting him with some massive fucking pipe. But the pipe is this big. So I'm assuming that dude is not only strong as fuck, but he probably just ripped that shit like that. Mind you, it's still attached, but it's just out of the neck socket. And it's about 40 to 50 clips, dismemberment and crazy ass shit like that. Then after that, you kind of get ISIS compilations, about 35 minutes. More headshots, executions, sniper shit, dismemberments, and all that type of shit. Typical ISIS bullshit. Then you get something that's actually weird I've never really seen instead of a compilation. You got cop shootings. Yeah. And it's a lot of cops shooting people. And to me, obviously most of them are justified. The guys have fucking guns. And if you have a gun and you point it at a cop and you get shot, you got shot. Yeah, you got shot. You had a gun in your hand. A word of advice: do not have any weapons when you're pulled over by cops. I just want to throw that out there. The guy, like this whole compilation is people have knives in their hands, people have guns in their hands, and they're getting shot. And one thing that fucking got me was when they pulled over this guy, and he came out with heat, and he just started blasting at the cops, and he got fucking dusted, man. Because one thing I do want to throw out to those dumbasses, which obviously they can't be listening to this because they're dead, but if you're shooting at a cop, do you know there's a couple things that cops have that you don't? Body armor and a whole lot of fucking skill when it comes to using a handgun. Now again, when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, cops do have skill and don't have skill. It depends on the department, which when people defund these police departments, do you know that actually fucks up their training? And now you get officers that are less trained and are going to be more trigger happy, because you see those other cops that aren't as trigger happy, they know kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and all this shit because they have better training camps and all this other better shit to work with. But if you take away that funding, you can't have those camps. Therefore, you got guys who are like, you sneezed, gun! And that's a problem. Which, again, I don't feel like, that's just my opinion. Well, that's actually fact, right? But my opinion is that we need more funding for police officers so people can stop getting shot. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on that. But that is factual with the defunding of the police stations and shit like that. It makes officers less skilled and more trigger happy, which is a fucked up thing and something I'm tired of hearing about, people getting shot by cops. But anyway, of course I'm going to keep hearing about it, because anytime someone does get shot by cops, it's front page news. Oh wait, but this country got like nuked and this guy is threatening for World War III. Cop shooting. Oh, but this guy just murdered 56 people. Cop shooting. No, don't hear about that. Cop shooting. Cop. God. And then after that, you get these two Asian chicks. One's a missionary, right? She's a missionary, and she's just puking on this other chick. Nothing really else to say about that. It was only a couple of minutes. Then you have this dude with like a plastic bag, and it's just covered in shit, and he's smearing it on his balls and dick, and he starts jerking it. Shit dick. Fucking foul. Then you got the last clip, which is that same fucking female. And like I said, I sat back. Wow, she has gorgeous legs, a gorgeous ass. She looks great. And I sat there and I was like, I think I've seen this episode before. And she pulls out a bloody tampon and starts taking bloody shits and eating it and playing with it and stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck, man? And it's fucking the most foul, disgusting shit. She pulls out a tampon that is just so fucking bloody. I mean, it was like clogging a sink. Now, every chick I've dated has never worn a tampon. That's just my experience. Again, I'm not sure how popular that is in the female community, tampons, because from what all the females that I've ever dated have told me that it's extremely uncomfortable, and they don't like the feeling of it. So they always wear maxi pads, or they'll double up on a maxi pad. This is just the girls I've been with. Now, I don't know. I can't speak for females in general, because I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a fucking female. You know, if that shit ain't fucking obvious. But again, I'm just talking from experience, from what I've dealt with the females. Not what I've dealt with personally. Anyway, takes out this fucking disgusting. This tampon is fat as fuck. I mean, it's like as fat as two of my fingers, and all this blood just starts pouring out. And she's, She starts shitting in this shitty period blood and all that fucking nasty. And she starts wiping it on herself. I can't remember if she does eat some or not, because I remember looking away so many times, then turning back like, because I knew I had to fucking just like, we have to do this, you know what I'm saying? I had to get through this shit. Fingering herself, putting the fucking bloody shitty dildo in her, and I think she puts it in her ass at a point, smearing all, and this goes on for like half a fucking hour. It goes on for like half an hour. It's just like the other video with the chick eating this shit, and these look extremely similar based on body type. Like those legs, again, I saw those legs, I was like, those are some gorgeous legs. You know what I'm saying? And when I see something that I'm like, yo, that's gorgeous, I ain't gonna forget. Especially, it was only like a week ago I saw PornGore Volume 1. So yeah, it has to be the same chick. I am convinced, and I'm convinced that she made these mixtapes, man. And that is some vile fucking shit. And with all that being said, we are done with PornGore Volume 2. Finished. Done. Dunzo. Now, if I were to rank it, is it as bad as the first one? Yes and no. I think there are parts that are worse. Okay, yeah, PornGore Volume 2 is worse. But just that one clip with that chick eating the shit. Oh man, I'm thinking about the Asian vomit with the black stuff in it. That one chick eating the shit with the mint leaf on top, to me was like the granddaddy of Scat. That was like the absolute fucking worst Scat video of. Oh God, fuck, man. To me, that was like the worst Scat video I've ever seen in my entire fucking existence. It doesn't get much worse than that. It just can't get worse than that. But I know every time I see that, typically gets worse. So there's like one or two clips inside the first one that are bad enough to be worse than the second one. But I feel like as an overall mixtape, I think PornGore Volume 2 is worse than Volume 1 due to the fact of all the gore. Now, there isn't much PornGore in this one, but just all the gore in general, especially some mutilation and all that dismemberment type of shit. Let me swallow my spit. Pause. Especially, I haven't had no water. Excuse me for having a fucking drink after an hour. I apologize. I'm such a dickhead. Anyway, God, man, it's hard to come back after saying some stupid shit like that. Anyway, like I was saying, it's definitely worse than the first one. I would rank it higher. Is it worse than MD Pope 2? Oh, that's a good one. I think PornGore Volume 2 and MD Pope 2 are like fucking neck at neck. I think they're just as bad. I think that it's definitely worse than the first. I think PornGore Volume 1 is worse than MD Pope 1. Not as bad as MD Pope 2. I think PornGore Volume 2 is as bad as MD Pope 2. So I can't wait to get into Football, Registros Fatais, MD Pope 3, Snuff R73, and these other fucking type of movies, which I'm going to be going over. So at least now you have an interpretation of how bad this movie is. A shit ton of gore, not too much scat, but when there is scat, there's a lot. You know what I'm saying? As in the fact that in length of the video, vomit, not too bad, except that one vomit clip when she was throwing up like charcoal yeah. That's the end of the video. Like, favorite shit, most of the comments, subscribe. I'm your boy Cove. I'm gonna catch you the fuck later. Peace. As per usual, with the end of this video, I want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons, everybody that supports me. As you know, none of this content here has any ads. Again, it's not like I can put any on them. So these are the people who support me all the time. I always go from A to Z. This time we're going to do that exactly ass backwards. And we're going to start with Z, which is now going to be the top. And a huge shout out to Zachary, Zach Champion, Yuki Manami, Yike, your boy Winkstain, X Zoden, Tyler Tapp, The Worst Channel on YouTube, That Girl Sam, Steve Garrix, Spanky is Wasted, Sorenia Cifuentes, Sean, Ryan Wren, Wubukia, Running Cloud, Romina de la Torre, Falovic, Para, Pablito Escobar, Nipon, Necro, Maximus Bram, Mama Susie, Luke Baxter Core, Leon the Peon, Leo, Ladybug Panic, Kitty Vicious, Kilco Kid, Kieran, Kevin Hoover, Kaleidoscope, Juju, Josie, Jorge Gamino, Jesus Moya, Jesus Gonzalez, Jesus Christ, Jessica Lim, Jennifer Painter, Jennifer Call, It's Gabby, Amy, his name is Colin, Graveyard Brat, Gas Draws, Felicia is my waifu, Evan Alpaw, Eric Dolan, Emmanuel Conejo, Easy, Doodoo Cheeks 420 Ballsack, Dick Bud, Derek Entity, Dark Moon 2, Cursed Camel on Instagram, Chris, Buttermilk Biscuit, Berkshaw, Brian, Bread Skull, Braden Dorkwind, Betty Butler, Awokia, Arlette Ramirez, and Aimless Amos. Appreciate all y'all for all the support. Mad love goes out to y'all. I'm out. Peace.